A highly anticipated new test is coming to Canada to detect COVID-19 antibodies through blood samples. It will answer two critical questions: whether those who have already had COVID-19 are now immune, and how many people have unknowingly already had the disease. Tonight, we spoke with one of the lead doctors on Canada's Immunity Task Force about the importance of beginning this process in this country. If you live in an area affected by COVID-19, it's likely a question you've asked yourself at least once. Have I already had the disease? Not knowing the answer has stopped many from doing the things they once loved.
If I had a test or an antibody test to prove that I already had it, then I could go and hug my grandkids. And that would be so important to me because this has been a long haul for myself.
Myra Marsh had symptoms early on, but wasn't able to get tested at the time. And there is uncertainty even for those who never showed symptoms. Based on daily case counts, researchers have established there is likely a significant portion of asymptomatic carriers in the population. The new test will help them get a more exact infection rate, and that could be the key to moving forward.
It's important to do this work and make sure we do this in a thoughtful manner.
Vivek Goel is one of the lead doctors on Canada's newly formed Immunity Task Force. In the 3 weeks since the Prime Minister announced the formation of the team, they have been busy compiling research from across Canada and around the world, with the goal to eventually conduct 1 million antibody tests.
What's really the challenge is making sure we do those tests in a smart way.
Not everyone who wants a test can get a test, at least not yet. First, the team will identify priority populations. For instance, Indigenous communities, healthcare workers, homeless populations, those in congregate living settings. Next, they will ensure testing will cover regions across the country so that sampling will allow for accurate local decision-making.
Make sure whatever understanding we have of immunity does apply to all the Canadian populations.
Apart from just establishing how many people have already had it, the other critical question is whether or not those who have tested positive and recovered are now protected, and for how long.
The research from around the world right now is pretty mixed on that.
The tests have already started in some of the hardest hit countries around the world, including Russia, Italy, and the US. Early data from the US suggests nearly everyone who has had COVID-19 does develop antibodies to the disease. Back at home, Health Canada has just approved the very first serological test, meaning testing may begin here in a matter of weeks.
I think the goal is to get going as quickly as possible.
And one other note, the test only works a few weeks after the COVID-19 infection, so even if you do test negative, it doesn't mean you're not carrying the virus in that very moment. Again, testing should begin in the next few weeks.